Hi, this is JP Morgan, and today's Slanted Lens lesson is about smoke. We're going to show you two aspects of smoke. One, we're going to use it as a background to hide all the stuff we don't want to see but give us a nice silhouette. Or two, we're going to use it to create kind of a dreamy world where you see sun rays as our talent walks through the smoke. On this shoot, we found out that it was really hard to get the smoke into the right position. This machine's pretty large, needs to be right next to the bottle of fluid. So we decided when we got back, we've got to create a ducting system so we can really feed that ducting system onto the set and get the smoke exactly where we wanted. You know, the most expensive item you're going to need to purchase is a squirrel cage fan. Be really careful with this fan though, because it's got an open cage and you can catch your fingers in it. In addition to the fan, you'll need the following items. You're going to need a 20-foot 4-inch dryer hose, a small piece of 1/4-inch screen, one 4-inch hose clamp and one 3-inch hose clamp, a PVC plumbing 4-inch adapter, metal duct tape, and one 4-inch 45-degree drain pipe. The only tools you're going to need are a screwdriver and a pair of pliers or metal snips. First, we're going to cut a piece of 4-inch wire into a square that's about 6 inches by 18 inches. We're going to roll this piece of screen into a tube that will go onto the 4-inch end of the PVC adapter and attach with a hose clamp to the nose of the Roscoe smoker. Now cut 3 slits in the end of the wire circle so it will compress around the end of the smoke machine. This has the ability to go smaller or larger depending on the size of the smoke machine opening. Now let's attach the hose clamp to the small end of the wire screen. Using the hose clamp, tighten the wire around the smoker nozzle. The reason for this opening is to allow air to go into the 4-inch dryer hose with the smoke. If you put the 4-inch dryer hose right on the smoker, then the smoke turns back into liquid in the pipe and makes everything really messy. You're now ready to attach the dryer hose. Cut off a 4-foot length of the dryer hose. Attach the hose to the 4-inch end of the PVC adapter and tape this now with aluminum duct tape. Tape the through end of the 45-degree drain pipe to the duct coming from the fogger. Attach the fan to the offshoot of the 45-degree drain pipe and tape it in place. Just make sure that it's blowing the direction you want the smoke to go. Attach the long piece of dryer hose to the last end of the 45-degree drain pipe and tape that into place. Here we are testing our first version of the ducting system. Unfortunately, that fan was much too powerful at 70 cubic feet per minute. It blew smoke both directions down the pipe. It looked like a fan at 10 cubic feet per minute would be much better, but preferable is a fan that you can dial up and down to get the exact amount of flow through the pipe. We turned the fan way down and it worked wonderfully. We're ready to go now. We can add as much hose to this as we want, and we can make it as long as we need to put it exactly where we want on set. Back out on location, let's look at our first setup. We placed the smoke down the trail to create a wall of smoke to simplify the background and create a silhouette of our man as he rides through on his horse. Our first light is a 2400 watt second head down the trail to backlight the smoke. This light's going to work until the sun becomes stronger, and then we're going to turn it off. I really love this shot. It became one of my favorite of the day. We're now going to add a beauty dish with a grid on it on his face as he moves through the smoke to give us a little different look. My assistant's going to follow the rider with the beauty dish as he comes riding through the smoke. Here are some of the images we took with the beauty dish and the backlight. His face is a little more open. That beauty dish gives us a sense there's a little bit of sunlight on his face. It's a nice look. As the sun got high enough, we switched to video and shot our rider coming through the smoke. The sun is the only light source here. The sun is in a backlight position now is perfect for our next setup. We want to have the sun creating sun rays as it comes through the trees. You know, light you cannot see unless it's reflected onto some kind of substance like fog, atmosphere, dust, or smoke. Sun rays are around us all the time, but there's nothing for them to reflect off from, so we don't see them. We're going to add smoke and use the sun rays as an artistic element. Here's another example of our photograph with just the sun as a single light creating the sun rays. There's a lot of great material here that we're going to play with in post. I took this image to Nik Software and did a couple of things to it. In Nik Software, I used a slight vignette to darken the trees on the sides and then removed some of the color with the bleach bypass filter to give it a little more of a vintage look. You know, I'm really pleased with this image. I do love using smoke and try to keep a smoker with us most of the time that we work. It just gives us a lot of options. If we get a background that we don't like, we can put a little wall of smoke up to hide it. If we got great sunlight, we can throw the smoke up to get sun rays. It gives us the option to be able to create different moods and looks when we're on set. So there's a great tool we can add to our arsenal. Just go out there, keep those cameras rolling, and keep on clicking. This camera would not die.